Hello everybody, Snowflake here, and welcome to another episode of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. We've been getting some miscellaneous quests done in the last few episodes, and that is what we are going to continue with today. So, before we get into it, just a reminder that I do a thing called Snowflake Sunday, where you guys can vote for the content you want to see every Sunday. I'll leave a link to the form in the description below. You fill it out. I randomly pick one of the submissions, and that will be the video I do the following Sunday. You can also join my Discord server, where you can see that link posted every week, and you can always vote for what you want to see. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Hopefully that sounds good to you. But yeah, on with the episode. So yeah, we've been doing some miscellaneous quests. I think the last episode, was it the one where we just delivered the frost salts? I think it was. We delivered like Farengar's frost salts from Farengar's Secret Fire to Arcadia. Her name was Arcadia, in Whiterun. And she said she had she was going to use a love potion on Farengar or something like that. That was pretty much it. It was just a simple delivery quest, nothing too complicated. So we're going to be doing the next miscellaneous quest, which is over here. Now this quest here, visit the College of Winterhold. I did look it up beforehand, because I did go to the College of Winterhold, because we had to in order to get the Elder Scroll in the main quest. But apparently, because I persuaded, was it Feralda, the woman that was outside the college, to let me in, apparently that quest is actually uncompletable now, so I can't actually finish this quest, so it's going to be there forever, and I'm going to have to live with that, unless I use the console, but, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. So we're going to be doing the next miscellaneous quest, which we got from the Whiterun Steward, Proventus Avenici, which is kill the bandit leader located at Valtheim Keep. I also looked up this quest, and apparently it is just like a generic quest that any Jarl or Steward can give you. But yeah, it's part of a quest that we have to do. So we're going to do it at least once, just to see what it's about. Yeah, kill the bandit leader located at Valtheim Keep. Pretty simple. Right, Ayla? Okay. She's on board. So, yep, our Guardians do come from Black Marsh. Thank you, game. Oh, you guys can't actually see that behind my head, right? There you go. There's some knowledge for you. Where is Valtheim? Valtheim Towers. Interesting. Not too far away from some of the locations we've seen. I'm thinking Gallows Rock is a little closer, so let's go to Gallows Rock. I don't even remember why we were here, but there we go. To that way. Oh, is this a Forsworn? Yeah, I think this was a Forsworn area, wasn't it? Alright, is this going to be up a massive mountain again? Probably. Just climbing. Not really. So I wonder if there's actually going to be like not something unique, but something special about this kind of quest. Do they give you like a super bandit with super loot, or who knows? Okay. Making this a little difficult for me, game. This is a giant's lair, right? That's on our map. I think. Yeah, could have been bad. Well, I guess we only need to go this way. So we'll just go down then. Before I was stuck. Maybe I am stuck now. No. For some reason we just can't go in that direction. Not sure why. Poor Ayla must be wondering where the heck I went. She'll catch up. It's okay. Yeah, we're almost there. Oh, I tried to catch the fly. Some more over there though. Mothwing, torch bug. Oh, there's a random dead Nord here, next to a troll skull. Interesting. Grab all of that. Yeah. Good. No, another carcass. So did this Nord just have a fight with this troll and win, but end up dying? Not sure. There's a mine here. We've discovered Dark Shade. Oh, this is an actual location. There's probably a story to this place. One sec, guys. There might be a little bit of background noise.
Perfect hideout for bandits, or worse.
Oh, hey Ayla. Thanks for your commentary. Alright, not sure why this is happening again. Sorry about this, guys. I really don't know what makes it do this. Alright, that might have done it for now. So annoying. Alright, well, it looks like this is a mine of some sort. Maybe. I don't know, there just happened to be some gold outside. Yeah, there might be a little bit of background noise, I'm sorry. It was fine just before I started recording, but naturally, as soon as I did start, yeah. You know. You get it. Oh. Oh, is this like the entrance? Yeah. Another Nord. This one's just called Bandit. Interesting. Well, we will not be going in there, but good to have it on the map. Oh, we need to go up there, do we? Great. I don't suppose we can swim up a waterfall. Probably not. Oh. Okay. I thought that was like some random person for us. Oh. Is that a fox that just went swimming? Apparently. Do some quick fishing. Alright, we gotta find a way up there. Maybe here. Seems like it could work. Okay, progress. Kind of. Yeah, there we go. And is that the towers on our map? Why, yes it is. There we go. Okay, well-timed towers. Let's do a quick save, because these guys are probably not going to like us being here. One would think.
Now they're mine.
Alright, well, that must have annoyed them. Is there a way in? Suppose this would be it, huh? Window, okay.
You start running so I can stab you in the back.
Ayla, do you want to maybe take some of these guys on? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, there's the leader. Alright, Chief. Ayla, you want to fight back? Maybe? No? Oh, the Chief's not that strong. Ayla just forgot to fight today. Alright, well we've got the leader down. Apparently, oh, there's someone all the way over there who managed to shoot me pretty impressively. So don't worry, I see you.
Think you can take me?
Yes, decidedly. With minimal effort, I might add. Okay, well, thanks for the backup there. You really, really contributed to this fight by, you know, standing still. Oh, this is iron. Okay. Is this why this is, like, defensible for the bandits? They just wanted some iron? Alright, let's take them for what they've got. Healing, garlic. Oh, there's an alchemy lab here. Frost Miriam, Elzir. Cloves. Ooh, some books. Anything we haven't read, I wonder. Updated my item list. And now everything's in alphabetical order. So I don't even have to worry about the different kinds of things. I can just look and... Song of Pelennor Volume 7. We have not read it. So let's read. The Song of Pelennor Volume 7 on his battle with Umaril and his dismemberment. This is linked to the Knights of the Nine quest in Oblivion. Umaril and Pelennor. That whole story. Okay. Editor's note, volumes 1 to 6 are taken from the so-called Raymond manuscript located in the Imperial Library. It is a transcription of all the fragments collected by an unknown scholar of the early Second Era. Beyond this, little is known of the original sources of these fragments, some of which appear to be from the same period, perhaps even from the same manuscript, but as no scholarly consensus yet exists on dating these 6 fragments, no opinions will be offered here. And so after many battles with Umaril's allies, where dead Aurorans lay like candlelight around the throne, the Pelennor became surrounded by the last Ayleid sorcerer kings and their demons, each one heavy with valiance. The White Drake cracked the floor of his mace and they withdrew, and he said, "Bring me Umaril that called me out." And while mighty in his aspect and wicked, deathless golden, Umaril favoured ruin from afar over close combat, and so he tarried in the shadows of the White Tower before coming forth. More soldiers were sent against Pelennor to die, and yet they managed to pierce his armour with axes and arrows, for Umaril had wrought each one by long valiance, which he had been hoarding since his first issue of Challenge. Presently the half-elf showed himself bathed in meridian light, and he listed his bloodline in the Ayleidun, and spoke of his father, a god of the previous Kalpa's world river, and taking great delight in the heavy breathing of Pelennor, who had finally bled. Text lost. And Umaril was laid low, the angel face of his helm dented into an ugliness which made Pelennor laugh. Oh, right, so we skipped the whole fight. They lost all of that text. Cool. And his unfeathered wings broken off with sword strokes delivered while Pelennor stood frothing above him, insulting his ancestry and anyone else that took ship from old Elnathay, which angered the other elvish kings and drove them to a madness of their own, and they fell on him, speaking to their weapons, cutting the Pelennor into apes while he roared in confusion, which even the council of skiffs could hear. Text loss. Ran when Moor shook the whole of the tower with mighty bashing from his horns the next morning, and some were slain in overabundance in the taking, and men looked for more aliens to kill, but Pelennor had left none save those kings and demons that had already begun to flee. It was Morrihouse who found the white strake's head, which the kings had left to prove their deeds, and they spoke, and Pelennor said things of regrets, but the rebellion had turned away, and more. Words were said between these immortals that even the paramount would not deign to hear. Cool. And now we've got a book which we... Okay, for some reason you can only see it down there. Dancing 5e4, we've read. Mystery of Talara, Volume 1. Yep. Song of Pelennor, Volume 6. It was only 1 and 2, right? Yeah. And we just picked up 7. The Song of Pelennor, Volume 6, on his madness. Editor's note, Volumes 1 to 6 are taken from the so-called Raymond manuscript located in the Imperial Library. It is a transcription of older fragments collected by an unknown scholar of the early Second Era. Beyond this, little is known of the original sources of these fragments, some of which appear to be from the same period, perhaps even from the same manuscript. But as no scholarly consensus yet exists on dating these 6 fragments, no opinions will be offered here. And it is said that he emerged of a world like a padomate, that is, born by Sithis, and all the forces of change therein. Still others, like Fifth of New Teed, say that beneath the Pelennor star armour was a chest that gaped open to show no heart, only a red rage-shaped diamond fashion, singing like a mindless dragon, and that this was proof that he was a myth echo, and that where he trod the shapes of a first urging, I don't really understand most of that. Pelennor cared for none of this, and killed any who would speak god logic, except for fair Derith or Perith? I'm gonna go with Derith, who he said, "In acts rather than talks, as language without exertion is dead witness." When those soldiers who heard him say this stared blankly, he laughed and swung his sword, running into the reign of kin to slaughter their alien captives, screaming, "Oh, Akka, for our shared madness I do this. I watch you watching me, watching back. Umril dares call us out, for that is how we made him." And it was during these fits of anger and nonsense that Pelennor would fall into the madness. The whole swaths of lands were devoured in divine rampage to become void, and Alessia would have to pray to the gods for their succour, and they would reach down as one mind and soothe the white drake until he no longer had the will to kill the earth in whole. Damn, I didn't know Pelennor was crazy like that. And Garrod of the Men of Gay once saw such a madness from afar and manoeuvred, after it had abated, to drink together with Pelennor, and he asked what such an affliction felt like, to which Pelennor could only answer, "Like when the dream no longer needs its dreamer." Nice. Okay, Life of Uriel, September 7th. Now we've read it, but we'll take it. Novice chest. Gold and leather armor. We'll come back to the alchemy lab. Amethyst, soldier and gold lockpick, scroll of mayhem. People up to level 12 attack and an ebony warhammer. Nice. Wines, tankards, healing potion. Black Arrow Volume 2. If it's a skill book, that you haven't read, then it will become very apparent. Well, it's one we have not read. Archery increased to 39. The Black Arrow Part 2 by Gorgik. I'm pretty sure the first one also increased archery. On the last dinner in my employ at the palace, the Duchess quite surprisingly had invited the Mayor of Moliva and Master Humaste himself among her other guests. The servants' gossip was manic. The Mayor had been there before, albeit very irregularly, but Humaste's presence was unthinkable. What could she mean by such a conciliatory gesture? The dinner itself progressed along with perfect if slightly cool civility among all parties. Humaste and the Duchess were both very quiet. The Mayor tried to engage the group in a discussion of the Emperor Pelagius IV's new son and heir Uriel, but it failed to spark much interest. Lady Vilea, elderly but much more vivacious than her sister the Duchess, led most of the talk about crime and scandal in Eldenroot. I have been encouraging her to move out to the country, away from all that unpleasantness for years now, the Duchess said, meeting the eyes of the Mayor. We've been discussing more recently the possibility of her building a palace on Maliva Hill. There's so little space there, as you know. Fortunately, we've come to a discovery. There is a wide field just a few days west on the edge of a river, ideally suited. Sounds perfect, the Mayor smiled and turned to Lady Vilea. When will your ladyship begin building? The very day you move your village to the site, replied the Duchess of Woda. The Mayor turned to her to see if she was joking. She obviously was not. Think of how much more commerce you could bring to your village if you were close to the river, said Lady Vilea jovially, and Master Humaste's students could have easier access to his fine school. Everyone would benefit. You know, it would put my sister's heart to ease if there was less trespassing and poaching on her lands. There is no poaching or trespassing on your lands now, your grace, frowned Humaste. You do not own the jungle, nor will you. The villagers may be persuaded to leave, that I don't know. My school will stay where it is. The dinner party never really recovered happily. Humaste and the Mayor excused themselves, and my services, such as they were not needed in the drawing room where the group went to have their drinks. There was no laughter to be heard through the walls that evening. The next day, even though there was a dinner planned for the evening, I left on my usual walk to Maliva. Before I had even reached the drawbridge, the guard held me back. Where are you going, Gorgik? Not to the village, are you? Why not? He pointed to the plume of smoke in the distance. Fire broke out very early this morning, and it's still going. Apparently it started at Master Humaste's school. Looks like the work of some travelling brigands. Blessed Stendar, I cried. Are the students alive? No one knows, but it'd be a miracle if any survived. It was late and most everyone was sleeping. I know they've already found the master's body, or what was left of it, and they also found that girl, your friend, Prelissa. I spent the day in a state of shock. It seemed inconceivable what my instinct told me, that the two noble old ladies, Lady Vilea and the Duchess of Woda, had arranged for a village and school that irritated them to be reduced to ashes. At dinner they mentioned the fire in Moliva only very briefly, as if it were not news at all, but I did see the Duchess smile for the first time ever. It was a smile I will never forget until the day I die. The next morning I had resolved to go to the village and see if I could be of any assistance to the survivors. I was passing through the servants' hall to the grand foyer when I heard the sound of a group of people ahead. The guards and most of the servants were there, pointing at the portrait of the Duchess that hung in the centre of the hall. There was a single black bolt of ebony piercing the painting, right at the Duchess's heart. They recognized it at once. It was one of Misun Akin's arrows I had seen in his quiver, forged, he said, in the bowels of Dagoth itself. It's in Morrowind, right? Yeah, my first reaction was relief. The Dharma who had been kind enough to give me a ride to the palace had survived the fire. My second reaction was echoed by all present in the hall. How had the vandal gotten past the guards, the gate, the moat, and the massive iron door? The Duchess, arriving shortly after I, was clearly furious, though she was too well bred to show it but by raising her web-thin eyebrows. She wasted no time in assigning all her servants new duties to keep the palace grounds guarded at all times. We were given regular shifts and precise, narrow patrols. The next morning, despite all precautions, there was another black arrow piercing the Duchess's portrait. So it continued for a week's time. The Duchess saw to it that at least one person was always present in the foyer, but somehow the arrow always found its way to her painting whenever the guard's eyes were momentarily averted. A complex series of signals were devised so each patrol could report back any sounds or disturbances, they encountered during their vision. At first, the Duchess arranged them so her castellan would receive record of any disturbances during the day, and the chief of the guard during the night. But when she found that she could not sleep, she made certain that the information came to her directly. The atmosphere in the palace had shifted from gloomy to nightmarish. A snake would slither across the moat, and suddenly her grace would be tearing through the east wing to investigate. The strong gusts of wind ruffling the leaves on one of the few trees on the lawn was a similar emergency. An unfortunate lone traveller on the road in front of the palace, a completely innocent man as it turned out, brought such a violent reaction that he must have thought he had stumbled on a wall. In a way, he had. And every morning there was a new arrow in the front hall, mocking her. I was given the terrible assignment of guarding the portrait for a few hours in the early morning. Not wanting to be the one to discover the arrow, I seated myself in a chair opposite, never letting my eyes move away for even a second. I don't know if you ever had the experience of watching one object relentlessly, but it has a strange effect. All other senses vanish. That was why I was particularly startled when the Duchess rushed into the room, blurring the gulf for me between her portrait and herself. "There's something moving behind the tree across the road from the gate," she roared, pushing me aside and fumbling with her key in the gold lock. She was shaking with madness and excitement, and the key did not seem to want to go in. I reached out to help her, but the Duchess was already kneeling, her eye to the keyhole, to be certain the key went through. Did the arrow go through the keyhole? It was precisely in that second that the arrow arrived, but this one never made it as far as the portrait. Yeah, I think through the keyhole, right? I actually met Miss and Akin years later while I was in Morrowind to entertain some nobles. He was impressed that I had risen from being a humble domestic servant to being a bard of some renown. He himself had returned to the Ashlands and, like his old master Humaste, was retired to the simple life of teaching and hunting. I told him that I had heard that Lady Valea had decided not to leave the city, and that the village of Modiva had been rebuilt. He was happy to hear that, but I could not find a way to ask him what I really wanted to know. I felt like a fool just wondering what I thought were true, but he had been behind Prelissa's tree, across the road from the gate every morning that summer, firing an arrow through the gate, across the lawn, across the moat, through a keyhole, and into a portrait of the Duchess of Woda until he struck the Duchess herself. It was clearly an impossibility. I chose not to ask. As we left one another that day and he was waving goodbye, he said, "I am pleased to see you doing so well, my friend. I am happy you moved that chair." Wait. Moved the chair? Let me go back. I seated myself in a chair opposite, because he didn't want to discover the arrow. So was the chair in front of the door before, and the arrow would have taken him out if he was... Or maybe the chair was in front of the... No. Yeah, maybe the chair was in front of the... I don't know. In front of where the keyhole was? You'll probably understand the story a bit more than I do. We already looted you. Where was the exit? Alright, we're like way too high. Alright, we came in through here, didn't we? Healing, pickaxe. Grab the salt, grab the carrots. Is there any other barrels I can access? Rub knots. Bandit Chief had a bunch of steel armor.
Let's get going. What do you need to take?
Not so much take, more so give. Wait, why can't I give her... Oh, too heavy. Gotcha. Alright,
Lead on then.
thank you. I wasn't able to give her that much, thinking about it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to carry all of the stuff. There's some garlic up here. Okay, and a healing potion. Was that it? Possibly. As we would have come from... Where would we have come from? This is how we got to the bridge. Must have come from up here. How is this tower confusing me? Oh right, there was another way through here. Alright, there were some potions. No. Let's unlock the trap trigger. What would that have done? Oh, we got a level up from that. Nice. Don't mind if I do. Good with stamina. Carry some more stuff. Alright, let's see what we've got. One-handed. We need 80 to do more damage. Can do more bleeding damage with axes, maces, armor. What are these ones over here? Can do a one-handed power attack while sprinting that does double damage. Standing power attacks do bonus damage with a chance to decapitate your enemies. I wish it said what the chance was, but that's a tempting one. Okay, let's look around. Light armor. Okay. Sneak is not so useful. Search for a target. We got alchemy as well, restoration. I don't know, man. I like bashing stuff. Let's go with this standing power attacks do bonus damage, because I tend to do a lot of those. And then how much does this perk need? 100. It's a backward power attack anyway, though, so it's not that great. Cool. Oh, and yeah, that's so chest. Okay, we are carrying too much. Do we kill a bandit out here? Probably not. There's a cooking pot. Yeah, let's cook. And then we'll also go to the lab and make some alchemy. Why do I feel slow? Well, we discovered lunar moth wings regenerate health. Sweet. Okay, and we're just about done, so let's go over to Dragon's Reach and get our reward from Mr. Proventus. Oh. Hey guys, how's it going? Hi Ayla.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
Oh right, we got another quest here. Ooh, we got a couple
Now,
of
if
quests.
you don't mind, I've got a
It seems our enemies have no end of spies, saboteurs, and assassins to send against us.
Alright, let's not talk to
What
Balgruuf.
is it that you need?
We've got several quests that are to do with Balgruuf. Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak asked me to deliver this axe to you.
Did he now? The man is persistent. I'll
Don't
give
push
him
me,
that.
Proventus. I know you don't like
I
Ulfric.
suppose it's time I give him an answer. Proventus,
My eyes.
what do you make of all this? If Ulfric were to attack Whiterun,
As in all things, Lord, caution. I urge us to wait and see.
Pray wait.
I'm of a mind with Irileth. It's time to act.
You plan to march on Windhelm?
I'm not a fool, Proventus. I mean it's time to challenge Ulfric to face me as a man. Or march his stormcloaks up to the gates.
We just progressed with civil
You
war.
do no such thing. A dagger in the back is all you could expect.
He was rather straightforward with Torrig.
Torrig? He simply walked up to the boy and murdered him.
That boy was High King of Skyrim.
I'm not the High King. But neither am I a boy. If Ulfric wants to challenge my rule in the old way, let him. Though I suspect he'll prefer to send his stormcloaks to do it for him.
Like
True.
me.
He's already proven his personal strength. Now he seeks to prove his
We had
armies.
that beast contained.
Then might I urge you
and
to consider
released it.
General Tullius's
Why?
request?
Why would you
I
do
mean,
such
if you
a
are
thing?
bent on offending Jarl Ulfric.
Ulfric is the one who has offended. But Proventus has a point. Ulfric has made it clear. In his mind, to refuse his claim is to side with the Empire.
And what harm is there in letting a few legionnaires die in place of your own men?
It seems cowardly.
Was it cowardly then to accept the white gold concordat?
Yes.
This again. That was different. Was I given a chance to object to the terms of the treaty? No. The Jarls weren't asked. We were told. And we had to like it.
The chests of gold didn't hurt.
Damn it. This isn't about gold.
It's time to decide.
Lord, wait. Let us see if Ulfric is serious.
Oh, he's serious. But so am I.
Finally.
So about this axe.
Yeah.
You can return this axe to our friend. The esteemed Jarl of Windhelm has my answer. Make sure he gets it. Proventus, bring me my pen and the good parchment.
Are we writing a letter, Lord?
Yes, to General Tullius. I need to make a few things clear before I accept.
So he sided with the Imperials.
legionnaires of his.
Alright. Is that it? Okay.
What is it that you need?
Alright, well now that we've established that Whiterun is siding with the Imperials, I've heard there's some trouble with your children.
Yes, my youngest son. He's a dark child. I don't know what to do with him.
Oh.
He was always a quiet lad, but lately, something has changed. He's become brooding, violent. He won't say a word to me, but I don't know how I upset him. If you could speak to him, draw out the truth, I would be immensely grateful.
Okay, started the quest, the Whispering Door. Find out what's wrong with Nelkir, but why did this override my current quest? Oh no, it didn't. Avanish just moved. Okay,
You have my attention?
the bandit leader at Valtheim Keep is dead. I'm here for the bounty.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here's your reward.
100 gold.
Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
You are a welcome guest, but you must still respect the rules of the Jarl's household.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward.
Alright, I had, I forgot there was another quest. His daughter, Adrian Avanici, is the blacksmith, who wanted to give this sword to him so he could give it over to Balgruuf. I have a sword for you from your daughter.
From Adrian? Ah, this must be that weapon for the Jarl. Poor girl. So eager to prove herself. I'll present it to Balgruuf when his mood is agreeable. Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered.
20 gold. Well, I guess technically all I did was walk to the castle. I don't have 5,000 gold, so.
Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Well, yeah. Now that you know I'm a Stormcloak messenger, I can totally understand that. All right, well, let's get going, Ayla. We know when we're not wanted.
Absurd that you can't cook good sweet rolls in the skeever hole of a city.
Is there anything
Divine
else we can
bless
ask him?
May the ground you walk quake as you pass.
I wonder where Lydia went. Shouldn't she be, like, somewhere here? Because we sent her home. I don't know. Alright, well, let's head back to Riverwood. We did a few more quests when we bargained for that. I forgot quite how much there was going on in the castle, or that was linked to the castle. Hey, wasn't Sven just outside? Didn't we walk past him a second ago? Oh, let's, Hey,
I'm still here.
I know.
What do you need to take?
Pretty much. Wait, what do you use it? Oh, she's using the Warhammer now. So I guess I'll take the Shield of Ysgramor back since you don't want to use it anymore. Keep the arrows. Ring of Stamina. Imperial Bow.
Lead on then.
Don't really need minor healing anymore. Alright, there we go. And that will just about do it for this episode. So, I mean, it's supposed to be just a routine bandit camp, but we read a few books. We completed the quest for Proventus and Balgruuf. We defeated, I guess, the bandit chief. It was just a generic quest. But that's fine. We found some cool books. We got some loot, I guess, kind of. And we also progressed quite a few other quest lines, because I forgot how much there was in the castle. We gave Adrian Avenici's sword to her dad to present to the Jarl at some point. Got 20 gold for that. We asked the Jarl about his child, because we heard a rumour somewhere that his son was acting up, being weird, violent, that kind of thing. So yeah, he told us about that. Started a new quest there. I know there was a much bigger quest update, but I'm trying to remember if there was anything else. No, I think that was it. And then, of course, the big part was we gave Jarl Balgruuf Ulfric's axe, which I believe was meant to be to sort of gauge whether Balgruuf... Well, which side is Balgruuf on, basically. Ulfric was basically saying, here's an axe, pick a side. If you accept the axe, I think that meant he was siding with the Stormcloaks, but he's giving it back, so he's telling Ulfric, I'm siding with the Imperials. I believe that's pretty much the gist of it. So yeah, we progressed the Civil War quest, which is quite important. Yeah, so we have to deliver that axe at some point. We won't be doing that today, though. Or, when I say today, I guess in the foreseeable future. Instead of doing that, our next quest will be another miscellaneous simple one. We're just going to bring a mammoth tusk to Isolde. That's pretty much it. That is the whole quest. So we're going to be doing that in the next episode, so it should be a simple one. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you on the next. Take care. Goodbye.